Hi there, Jack here from Bridge Coffee Roasters, and today we're going to show you how to get started with your brand new Sanremo D8 espresso machine. We're going to show you how to dial in your coffees, set your doses, get into the settings, perform your daily cleaning, everything you need to know. So the D8 is a fantastic espresso machine. You've really invested wisely and chosen a great piece of equipment. So if you need to get a little bit more familiar with what this machine can do and what it offers, then check out the review video that we've done first of all. But to get started, on the left-hand side, we have our on and off switch. And once you turn your machine on, it will then start to come up to temperature. Depending on the temperature of the room, the temperature of the group heads that you've set, it could take between sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes. Once it's up to temperature, the group heads will come on and you'll get a live reading of that temperature. We're set at 92 here. So we've got a good number of shot buttons on your D8. Out of the box, these are going to be preset for you. But for workflow and to make sure all your baristas are on the exact same page, we're actually going to first off go ahead and override these presets and dial in your coffee. So we're going to stick with a relatively traditional espresso dose of 18 grams. And we're going to lock that into the portafilter. We're also going to need a scale underneath, and this is going to help us calibrate the machine with how much coffee we want in our cup. Tear the scale, and then we're going to hold down the middle Sanremo button for a few seconds until the screen then reads D5. Once you see that, the machine is now ready for you to start your brew, and then it's going to calibrate how many milliliters of water it's pushed through the group head, and it will save that onto whichever shot button you press. So right now I'm going to press this top right-hand side double shot button, and you'll see the time and the milliliters start climbing. What I'm going to pay attention to is the amount of espresso that I see in my scale. So I'm going for a pretty standard 2-to-1 recipe. So I've got 18 grams of coffee in, and I'm going to aim for 36 grams of coffee out. And once I have reached 36 on the scale, I'm just going to tap that button again, and then the machine will record that and save it as the dose to that button. Okay, 36.3, that's absolutely fine. You can see the time there, 37 seconds. That's a little bit long, but it doesn't really matter right now. All I'm paying attention to is just the amount of water that was pushed through the grounds and the amount of espresso in the bottom. So you can see on the screen, we now have 73 mil. That is the amount of water that was pushed through the grounds. Obviously, some of that was soaked up by the coffee itself. So we ended up with about 36 in the cup. That has now been saved to that preset button. So if I go ahead and press it again, it's just dispensed exactly 73 again. And that is also going to have copied across to the right-hand side. So that is a standard double shot of espresso, which is the amount of coffee that we recommend for pretty much every drink. Just to make it really easy for your baristas, we're going to recommend that you copy that across all of the top 4 buttons. Now you can customize those buttons if you want to do different things, but usually day in and day out, you're going to be making the same double shot of espresso every single time. These 3 buttons we're going to leave as they are, straight out of the box. And what these do is they give a quick little purge between shots, just to clean off any oils and grounds from the shower screen, just to make sure you're starting with fresh grounds and a nice clean shower screen for your next shot. You can also set the dose for your hot water tap. And what you want to do is grab the cup that you're going to be using for your teas or your Americanos and make sure that the amount of water that comes out of the hot water tap fills up to the right level for those cups. So once again, we're going to hold down that middle button on the left-hand group head until we see D5. And now we're going to press the hot water tap. And once we're happy with the right level, we're just going to press it again. And then that is going to save that as the dose. And after about 15-20 seconds, when the lights stop flashing, you're ready to brew again. And now we should have the exact perfect amount of water coming into your cup, again for your teas or your Americanos. And you don't have to monitor that constantly. So a lot of the customization and functions of the machine are found in the settings menu. Before we jump into that, the last thing that you really need to know before you go ahead and start serving is how to clean your machine at the end of the day. Just like the rest of Sanremo's range, the D8 comes with an automatic backflush cycle, and that is going to help your baristas at the end of the day just put some nice cleaning chemicals into the machine, building up some pressure, soaking those chemicals into the shower screens, and really making sure everything is nice and clean for the next day. So what you want to do is remove your portafilters, and minding your fingers because it's hot, just taking out those baskets. And then swapping that in for a blank portafilter. Then you are going to grab some of your cleaning powder, and we're going to add just about a teaspoon, doesn't need to be exact, into that blank disc. We're going to lock it in place, and then you're ready to start that cleaning cycle. So we're just going to hold down the Sanremo button and then press the leftmost button on the top. It will show you that it's cleaning. You'll hear the pump engaging and turning off every few seconds. This will just take a couple of minutes, and then we're ready to purge through that shower screen, close the machine down for the next day. And to do that on both group heads at the same time, follow the same exact procedure. And once again, hold that Sanremo button and the top left button. Once you've closed down all group heads, you can then switch off the machine for the next day. Okay, so let's head into the settings menu. This is where most of the customization is going to happen in the machine. So we're going to hold down the Sanremo button on the left-hand group head and press the hot water tap. Now here we've got a menu with a few different screens and ways that you can interact with the machine. You're going to scroll through the screens by using these two buttons to go left or right. So first off is the temperature and pressure of the boiler. So hit the Sanremo button to select, and then you can use these top buttons to go left or right and make changes there. This is in referral to the steam pressure and the temperature. So we're at 1.2 bars of pressure and 123 degrees. You can change that to 1, 1.2 or 1.5, and that's 126, 123 or 120. We find that 120 degrees and 1 bar of pressure is absolutely enough for a really powerful jet of steam. And just hit that middle button to select. And then to the next screen, using that right-hand side button. This is the temperature of the brewing water, or the temperature of the group head. One thing that's different about the D8 and the D8 Pro is that you can adjust the temperature of the group heads independently on the D8 Pro. So just tap the left-hand button, and once again use these two buttons on the top to go up or down. You can go down to 90, or all the way up to 98. We find that somewhere between 92, 93, 94 is absolutely fine. And again, on the D8 Pro, you can adjust those temperatures independently. So I could have 92 here, 95, something different on the left-hand side. Just for sake of simplicity, I'm going to keep both the exact same. To the next screen, we have pre-infusion. So currently that's set to off. I'm going to head into that screen and just toggle that to on. This next screen is your dose settings. Currently, the machine is offering me 5 different doses. You can also set that to 7, and that is just going to include a double tap of different buttons. But again, for sake of simplicity, we're just going to set it to 5. You really want to make things easy and simple for your baristas day in and day out. On the next screen is your purging, and I'm definitely going to leave that on. That is, again, when using the Sanremo button in between shots, just to purge that little bit of water through the group head. That's definitely a nice feature to have, so I'm going to leave that on. Next, we have our programs and our doses. Again, just going to leave those on, and like I showed earlier, we're going to use that scale underneath to adjust our doses. You can also turn your cup warmer on or off. I'm going to make sure that it's set to on. You can turn it off if you want to save energy or you're doing a lot of takeaway cups normally. But in order to keep these mugs on top nice and warm, I'm going to keep that on. On the D8 Pro, you also have these LED lights to light up the area. And again, you can turn those off if you like, but I'm definitely going to leave those on. Nice to have. And another option on the D8 Pro is to have LED panels on the sides of your machines, and there you can turn those on or off. And then flicking through the rest of the settings, you've got an eco mode. You can set a time for that to automatically kick in if you haven't been using the machine. We've also got the date and the time there. And then the automatic cleaning cycle, which you can get started. Then also some shot counters and cleaning cycles. Then to exit the menu, you're just gonna hit this back button. And then you're ready to go. So you probably have more questions, but these are just the basics that you need to know about to get started with your D8. If you do have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below. We love to be able to help. We are Bridge Coffee Roasters. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you need any help with your D8, maybe something's gone wrong and you need an engineer, or you need coffee, training, anything like that, don't hesitate to get in touch with us at Bridge Coffee Roasters. Best of luck with your D8. It's a fantastic machine. You've really invested wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.